Hello, Wagwan. Yes, shalom, salam alaikum. So, yes, hello. Anyway, so on to boxing talk because it's a boxing channel. You know that. Now, so there's some good boxing this weekend at least. Tonight they already started the show, but there's Joe Cordina, the forever Welsh prospect now, fighting Kenichi Ogawa for the IBF title, World Super Feather title. This is an interesting fight. You know, it's pretty even, yeah? Now, Joe Cordina has been touted as a prospect for ages, but he's sort of, I don't say he's skillful, but he hasn't set the world on fire, you know? And weirdly, he's a slight favourite at 1.57, I think, something like that. You get 2.37 on the Japanese dude. Japanese dude got one loss. Cordina got nothing. Cordina, I saw, he boxed a guy. Yeah, I can't remember the guy's name, but there was a guy who got an amateur boxer, and he got whacked in Ukraine, and so it was a bit of a story in the boxing world. Oh, this guy died fighting for a lost cause. Really, we all know what they do, fighting for the Illuminati cause. I'm sorry to say, but it's a shame. You know, may he rest in peace. But he got put over by this guy, and I can't remember his name off the top of my head. And in the WSB, you remember that? The WSB, the World Series of Boxing. And, you know, so he could obviously be hurt. It was a decent shot, though. The other guy wasn't a great puncher, but Cordina, I don't know, man. He seems to be one of those guys that flatters to deceive. Like, he looks like he's got all the goods, but he's got something missing. Yeah. So I actually think that Kenichi Ogawa, is it Ogawa? Kenichi Ogawa. Yeah, is gonna beat him. I think he might stop him. You know, I don't know if I'm gonna put any money. I might put 20 quid on the Japanese dude just to make it interesting. You know, a lot of people think the whole boxing stuff is all fixed. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know to what extent. Obviously, they fix the judges and the ref and stuff like that. But you know, the weight making clauses and all that kind of nonsense. But and you know, there's plenty of PEDs. I don't really buy that you go down in this round or this kind of thing, but or at least not often. I mean, you know, there were some dodgy fights like Audley Harris, David Gay, David bisexualist, I should say, but so Cordina, I think he'll be found at the top level. But quite often the Japanese guys, you know, they don't do well when they travel, and I think that's mainly because of the time difference, especially to the UK. I mean, it's about, I don't know, like 11 hours time difference. I mean, that messes your head up flying over there. So that'll take something out of him. I still think he'll have too much for Cordina. But at least it's a nice, evenish kind of fight. So that's good stuff. You know what is weird about the Welsh fighters? They never seem to be really Welsh. I mean, 100%. Calzaghe, half Sicilian, half Welsh. Macronelli, I don't know, Italian descent for sure. Steve Robinson, well, you know, he's Jamaican, right? Or Jamaican descent. What are the other dudes they got? Well, Joe Cordina. His actual real name is Joe Samuel, which is weird. I don't know what his ethnic origin, but he's actually Joseph Samuel. Yeah, not Joe Cordina. So I don't know why he changed his name to Cordina. Maybe it's his mother's name or something. Anyway, he's of Maltese heritage. I don't know where Samuel comes into, but whatever. You know, I don't know what you mean, but we're the 100% Welsh guys. Anyway, The undercard is fairly whack, which is pretty typical. I think it's an Eddie Hearn show, so we don't expect much more. We got a guy called Dalton Smith. He's going to be a good prospect, but I don't, you know, in fact, nobody. I don't get that excited when they're young prospects, you know, unless they're real standouts, you know, because there's so many. These great prospects. You got to watch them. They beat up no hopers, and then they end up falling. You know, when they step up a level. I want to know when they're half decent. I'm not a young kid anymore who watches every single boxing thing he can, you know. And you got like a couple of other prospects, blah, blah, blah. Oh, Zelfa Barrett. He's the son of Pat the Black Flash Barrett. Yeah. Now, Pat mated with a white woman, so Zelfa is mixed, right? But he calls himself Brown Flash after his death. I mean, come on, man. You couldn't pick a worse nickname. It's like some scat fan. It sounds like a skid mark. Zelfa the Skid Mark Barrett, you know, Brown Flash. It doesn't work, bro. You didn't think of that, man. And we got Skye Nicholson, right? So for all the pervert boxing fans, Skye's probably the prettiest girl in boxing, and it's not saying much. There's some dogs in boxing, female boxing, and they all look. Well, a lot of them are rug munchers. I don't think Skye is. I don't think so. She's got some nice skills. She's had about 300 amateur fights, and I look at her, I think, yeah, you're okay. And I'm like, blood clot, you've had that many fights. You still can't really fight, and you can't punch for sure. But anyway, if you're one of the perv bros, then yeah, check it out.